This is your tech news briefing for Friday, March 17th. I'm Zoe Thomas for the Wall Street Journal. Imagine you're a hiring manager looking to fill an open position, and every cover letter, resume, and writing test comes back with exactly the skills you need for the candidates. Maybe it's a super talented hiring pool. Or maybe it's ChatGPT. Teachers, school districts, and universities have been worried about cheating since ChatGPT was released. Now, companies have concerns about job applicants, too. With me to discuss that is WSJ personal tech reporter Ann-Marie Alcántara. Hi, Ann-Marie. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me as always, Zoe.
I want to start with the job applicants. Who are the people who are using ChatGPT for their applications?
So some of the people who are using ChatGPT for their job application help include, someone who's looking for a new job because of all the layoffs that are happening, as well as someone who's just moving careers. And so they're using ChatGPT to tweak their resumes, help them prep for interview questions, and also get them through writer's block when you're writing that cover letter that, is supposed to wow the recruiter or hiring manager.
Can you tell us about one of the people that you spoke to? How did they use ChatGPT in their application process?
Yes, so Ryan Stringham, who is a 31-year-old who lives in Utah, he was looking for a new job in product management. He used ChatGPT to help him get better at interview questions, tweak his cover letter, but he didn't tell anyone that he was using it when he was applying for roles. And even the job that he has since landed, they have no idea that he used ChatGPT. But he did tell me, he obviously had to ace the interviews on his own and edit the cover letter himself. So it wasn't like ChatGPT did everything for him. He still had to prove himself.
So how easy is it to write, say, a cover letter or a resume using this? Because having tried it myself, I'm sure some listeners have tried it out. You're just asking kind of one question or another. So how do you get it to give you a polished-looking response for a hiring manager?
So based on the conversations I had with people for this story, you really need to train and work with ChatGPT to make your cover letter or resume sound and look amazing. You have to feed it your existing resume, new skills you might have acquired or are in the process of acquiring, and you also need to feed it the job description that you're applying for. So you kind of feed ChatGPT all this information, and then you can start asking it write me a sentence that describes my skills in writing and my skills in Photoshop.
What about from the side of the people doing the hiring? First off, how are they spotting that some of these applicants are using ChatGPT? Is there a way to tell?
So one employer I spoke to who works at the company, Data Bento, she's the CEO, she told me she came across 5 applications and they all sounded similar. And so she put her writing test for the company into ChatGPT and got the same answer. And she was like, well, this makes sense.
Out of curiosity, how good were the tests that she was getting back from the applicants?
They were incredible based on her response. She said, usually this writing test, people don't always pass it, and that's fine because it's, about the journey, not just passing the test. But this one people pass with flying colors. And that's what also made her, in her brain being like, what's going on here? Why is everyone doing so well all of a sudden?
What was her reaction, and what have the reactions been of other companies that are finding applicants using this?
So she is trying to be technology forward with it and embrace it. She knows it's not going to go away. It's probably going to get even worse, if anything, with people using it more and more. And so now, the writing test does say you could use ChatGPT to help you with the process, but you need to put in a little more effort to make your application stand out. And other employers are figuring out how to allow applicants to use ChatGPT, but also making sure that they're not making the process even longer or the test longer, because then you're making the process just worse for everyone involved, the employer, the potential employee. And so it's a kind of an existential question right now for many employers. They think of how much to embrace, how much not to embrace it, how do they deal with it?
Is it viewed by applicants or by the companies as cheating if you use ChatGPT?
In some cases, I do believe the employers believe it is cheating, because you're essentially assessing ChatGPT and not the applicant itself.
Right. I wonder, companies have been using AI when it comes to looking through their stack of potential candidates. Is this just flipping the tables on that? Now AI is on the side of the applicants instead of just the companies?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And it's fun to see it unfold in real time. Like we just saw a new version of GPT released recently. And so we're going to keep seeing how people figure out the best ways to use this and game the system when the system has been being gamed against them.
I mean, there have been tools out there for a long time that job applicants can use, templates from Google Docs or Microsoft. Why is this so much different from utilizing those?
Part of the issue that some employers are thinking about is if ChatGPT writes an amazing cover letter of your skills and what you can do, is it still an accurate representation of who you are and like what you actually can do? Because it could really vary. Like some people can come up with crazy and wonderful things to say about themselves with the help of ChatGPT, but if they can't actually do the job, then it's like, well, was it really helpful to have ChatGPT help you do this? Whereas Google Doc templates or Microsoft Office templates, those are just templates. You still have to like fill in the blanks yourself, come up with the writing. You have to do a lot more work.
Generative AI applications, that's the new world we're dealing with, I guess. That's our personal tech reporter, Ann-Marie Alcántara. Thanks for joining us, Ann-Marie.
Thanks, Zoe.
And that's it for this week's Tech News Briefing. But before we go, a quick reminder that we want to hear your questions on generative AI. Want to know more about Baidu's new product, ChatGPT or Lensa? Interested to know how these AI programs work or what they're capable of? Email us a voice recording with your AI question to tnb@wsj.com. TNB's producer is Julie Chang. We had production assistance from Zoe Culkin. Our supervising producer is Melanie Roy, and our executive producer is Chris Sinsley. I'm your host, Zoe Thomas. Thanks for listening, and have a great weekend.